decided after the men are formed, size the company.
Yes, Captain.
2 ranks. Ladies and gentlemen, glad you came out this morning. I'm Captain Parker. So what we're doing is getting ready to go to Parker's Revenge. So we're kind of reversing the order. At Patriots Day in the morning, this happened at 10 o'clock after the morning of the 19th. When Captain Parker and Reverend Clarke rallied the troops after they had lost 8 men and over 14 wounded, we then went out to Lincoln on the corner and prepared to re-engage the British column coming back to Boston. So when you think of Captain Parker rallying his troops after he lost his men, family, friends, rallied them, he became extraordinary that day, and so did all the men. So they re-engaged out in a cliff of a rock. It's like a little height still there at the National Park. So that's where we're going. We're doing the reenactment of that, and then walking out there and having the battles. In the afternoon, we're going to be down at Tower Park for the big battle when Percy comes out from Boston from the British Army to relieve the column, because the column's being absolutely obliterated. At that time, 22,000 Minutemen had been called. The only town that didn't come out was Waltham. The rest of the towns came out. 22,000 now are out to actually engage the column as they go back to Boston. Gives you a little background. You can come forward to hear if you like, or if you want to sit in the stands, that's okay too.
Sections 2 and 3 that I identified. 1 pace to the forward, march. Sections 1 and 4, face to the center by the left and right, face. Close to the center, march. Face to the center, face to the front. File me.
What happens to the back right now? Leland, can you get in the back, please? Yeah. Behind the company. Thank you.
Let's see on the end.
Quiet the ranks.
Sorry.
Just like
Captain, the company is for size and form, sir.
Very good. Prepare the company for inspection. Prepare the men for inspection.
Yes, sir. Front rank, 4 paces to the front, march. Company will prepare for inspection. Boys, fire left.
Those are the left open pan. Open pan. Company, cast about. Draw rammers. Company, return. Rammers. Shoulder your firelocks. Front crank. 4 paces to the rear. March. Close pan.
That's right. Support your pilot.
Resolved December 16, 1773. Each soldier shall provide himself with a good firearm, a steel, wood or iron ramrod, and a spring for same, a worm, a priming wire and brush, a bayonet fitted to his gun, a scabbard and belt thereof, a cutting sword or tomahawk or hatchet, a cartridge box holding 15 rounds, at least 100 buckshot, 6 flints, 1 pound of powder, 40 leaden balls fitted to his gun, a knapsack and blanket, and canteen or wooden bottle to hold 1 quart of water. Failure to obey this resolution shall result in an assessment of a fine. Captain, the training soldiers are inspected and well equipped to the best of their ability. Very good.
Company, shoulder. Shoulder your firelocks. Poise, firelocks. Rest, firelocks. Order, firelocks. Ease arms. Clasp hands. Many of you were here this morning when His Majesty's troops made their appearance and rushed furiously upon us. Without any provocation, we received a very, very heavy and close fire from them. Without any provocation, I want to remind you. They killed 8 of our party and continued to fire upon us until we dispersed off the parade ground. We know the troops will march back through our village and will engage in this strip. Yes, you may quit your home now, leave everything behind and escape with your lives. But our liberties, our rights as Englishmen are now in grave peril. They are being replaced by the shackles of slavery.
Never!
What was formerly merely a suspicion that our Parliament wished to enslave us has now become a reality. 18 months ago, we pledged to sacrifice everything, including our lives, in support of the common cause.
Aye. We still do, sir.
The time has come to honor that pledge. We will take advantage of walls, fences, trees, with vigor and haste.
Huzzah!
And we shall pursue them relentlessly.
Huzzah! Yes.
We will cut them off and make them our prisoners.
Aye!
We will teach General Gage that Yankees will fight.
Huzzah!
Sergeant Monroe.
Sir?
I would like to inspect the troops. Shoulder your firelocks.
front. March!
Ready, Captain. Don't you get over the front.
Rear rank, take 2 steps to the front, march. Reverend Clarke, you have a few words for us this morning.
I do, sir.
Order your firelocks. Ease, arms, clasp hands.
Men of Lexington, it was only this morning that 8 men lay dead on this very ground. Brave men whose lifeblood makes this soil sacred, not only a hallowed place for future generations, but the fertile field from which shall rise a rich harvest of freedom and liberty. As you set forth to right the unspeakable wrongs of this day, to set your bravery against the brutality that was the tyrannical actions of His Majesty, it is important to bear witness to the justice of our cause. Where was the king's righteousness and the king's justice? The desires and works of a monarch are made present in the work of his servants, and so it is made clear whether or not that monarch deserves the loyalty and duty of his subjects. What are we to say when a large body of the king's troops inflicts a murderous volley, not once but several times, upon those who were in the process of peacefully quitting the field to allow those troops to pass unmolested? The liberties and rights of all Englishmen were by his murderous action set at naught and made a mockery. For why did you and your martyred fellows stand here on the common but few hours past, if not to bear witness by presenting your very bodies that your liberties, your homes, your lives were inviolate, even in the face of overwhelming force? The king's troops were first to fire. That much is clear. The first blood spilled was not theirs, it was ours. Having had our natural and constitutional rights thus abrogated, the source of those rights no longer rests with king or parliament. It lies with us, America. We are in truth Americans, the first to claim the name and identity that will grow from this place to the far reaches of the human imagination, into the outer limits of our immortal souls. Whatever we have been before, we are Americans now. Clear it is that maintaining that identity is going to involve effusion of blood and sacrifice of life. For what follows from the events of this morning means conflict. Gentlemen, it means war. Others may have thought it, others may have just wished for it, others may have feared it, but we cannot return to the fashion of things as they were. Our presence on the common today and our 8 martyred brethren who have sanctified this ground proclaim to the world, and most particularly to King and Parliament, that Americans are prepared to defend and preserve their rights even at the cost of rebellion. Huzzah! This, for us, is a journey into the unknown, for we do not know what sacrifices will be required of us, nor how many months or years of struggle lie ahead. But of this we can be certain past any doubt, that in the struggle between tyranny and liberty, our God is ever the God of liberty. Amen. For he is the God who brought his people out of slavery in Egypt into the land of promise. He is a God who across the generations fulfilled his promise in the coming of our Redeemer Christ, who shows to us that in life and death and beyond death, that God triumphs, and that the ways of God are not only the ways of righteousness and truth, but of life itself. and sacrificial love for family, neighbors, and country.
Amen.
Trust in God that soon or late our victory is certain. His Majesty's troops are far from home for the purpose of keeping the past and its power on its throne. Whatever is dear to them lies thousands of miles away at their backs. What is dear to us, soil and home and liberty, is close at hand, and that is a strength that cannot be measured in numbers. We march from the shadows of the past into the fair light of freedom, beyond thrones, beyond kings, beyond the tyranny of those who would invade our communities, destroy our homes, kill our citizens, threaten our families, and seek to control our country. Will history remember our actions, our sacrifice? Will the world learn the lesson of this day that tyranny will not be tolerated? That injustice will be resisted with courage and compassion, and that the power of God is on the side of the innocent, the just, and the good. God, may it be so. So it is with high purpose that you walk forward into this day's battle. You go beyond ordinariness into the extraordinary, beyond fear of peril, beyond things that were and toward things that will be, that must be. So shall you face the foe with courage and faith. So shall you stand on the side of all that is righteous and of good report. So shall you go in God's keeping and with God's blessing. Amen.
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 First Sergeant,
Yes, sir.
prepare the men for the march.
Sir, can I ask, Captain, what is our objective? Where are we going? We have heard nothing from Colonel Gardner.
That is true, we have not heard from our commander, Colonel Gardner. And because of that, we are actually going to march out to the outskirts of Lexington, where we can set up by Pine Hill and really by the homesteads of Nelson and Hastings. We will set up an ambush to be able to engage the column as they return to Boston.
Aye. Company, handle arms. Rest your firelocks. Shoulder your firelocks. First Sergeant.
First Sergeant prepared the men for the march.
Company, prepare to advance 5 files from the right to the right. Face. Nope. The front. March.
Okay.
Good. Straight too far ahead. Keep up a steady pace.
Yes, Godspeed. Thank you. Stay safe.
Can you believe these people? They're not heeding our warnings. They really do.
Something is on fire. They're coming back. Coming back to bodies. Well, I have my husband's ledgers on our money. And I have my book.
Looking for my grandson. Has anyone seen 13-year-old boy, flaxen hair, green coats on the side? Told him to take the cow into the field or into the woods and then meet me. Boys, probably follow the militia.
You all do realize it's not safe to sit around here, right?
There has been gunfire heard further up. You must have seen the soldiers come through this way earlier today, but they may be turning back around, and it seems as if they aren't in the midst of a
I
battle.
would rather not stay here. Anywhere but here.
Keep yourself safe. If you need to go to the woods, or if you have houses with family members nearby, as long as they're not along the main road.
Take care of Godspeed.
Keep your unit as you travel. It's impossible. You should leave as well.
Why
Sir,
are all
what
these
contraptions do you
children
have?
here? Don't you know the regulars are coming?
Farming equipment.
I opened the door to the barn and I let all the livestock go because I'm afraid that the regulars will burn the barn. And I took what few things I own that are mine and not my husband's.
Look at that book. Capture that shit forever.
Are they trying to get those guys?
Straight ahead.
Fire down the road. Fire straight down the road. Straight down the road. Kill those bastards. Right through, right through. We're gonna top this out.
They're on the rear end.
Take hands. What's everybody doing? Mark. Mark, mark. Here, fire lock. Right, buddy. Fire. Go, go, go. Somebody, make ready. Freeze, ready. Fire. Right about ready. Quick, mark.
Wait.
It's still coming.
Following now. Get on your head! Get on your head! Nice deflection. Go up! Go up!
this a prisoner of war behind them?
Come back to Boston, let it!